Why most people fail to manifest is not because of lack of a vision or that they don't are not able to attract. Most people fail to manifest because they fail execution. Execution requires a high level of discipline. Now, we all get scared when we see the word or hear the word discipline because it means something that will take our freedom away from us. But let me tell you, mastering your daily routine is all about gaining more freedom in life. The ones who don't master their daily routine are really never free. They're full of stress, lacking financially, lacking in relationships because their energy is chaotic, is all over the place. Most people fail not because of lack of ability or lack of vision. They fail because of their inability of execution. So, why do we need to master our daily routine? Simple, so that we can bring into reality the grand vision, the desires that we carry within. Discipline. Most people are so afraid of that word because we feel that, oh, the minute we're talking about discipline, something will take our freedom away. But it's actually the opposite. Discipline leads one to having more freedom, doing more things, accomplishing way more. Manifesting is not just about attracting. Manifesting has a lot to do with putting those plans into action. So let's talk about who we can take inspiration from to set a daily perfect, ideal routine. The ideal routine should be taken from nature because nature is the most free, creatively expressive entity that I've ever seen. And look how much discipline the sun has, the moon has, to come out at a particular time every day, relentlessly. The seasons are coming, the seasons are changing. Everything is happening as per a perfect order. And the more a human being can synchronize with these natural processes that are happening, the sun coming up, the moon coming up, the seasonal changes, we will be able to harness our potential and execute these grand plans that we have for our life. So my father would always tell me, at least wake up with the sun. But if you can, wake up before the sun. The ones who can wake up before the rising sun will own the day. But if you at least wake up with the sun, you'll be able to get some handle of the day. But if you're waking up way after the sun has come up, your whole life is just going to be very basic because the day will own you. Then you'll have to do half the day is already gone, half the day is over. What are you going to plan? What are you going to accomplish? So, a lot of times we've heard this saying, early to bed, early to rise makes a man healthy, wealthy, and wise. I personally live by this. I have lived by this since my childhood, thanks to a set of parents that gave me a very good routine and made sure that I stuck by that routine. So it would feel very boring to a lot of people when they see somebody living in a routine. It'll look very boring and very like, what kind of a life are you living? But I am able to live my kind of life, the one I want to live, achieve the kind of goals that I've achieved, whether it's the degrees, whether it's the companies, whether it's the spiritual processes, only because I have mastered my day to a certain extent. So let's start with what are some things that a daily routine should have. A, it should have things that you need to subtract. Before we think of what we can add to it, we should really observe our current routine and see what all needs to be removed. What are the wasteful things that I'm doing? What are the wasteful activities I'm doing throughout the day? What should I reduce or remove completely? Then we can talk of adding. Now, what are the activities, actions, habits that I can add which will take me closer to my dream? But thirdly, also very important part of the daily routine is how can I throw my entire routine away? How can I totally rid myself of the routine every now and then? Right? So, what do we need to minus? What do we need to add? And sometimes we just need to totally not follow a routine. So, let's talk about another few parameters that everybody should have in their daily routine. Self-care habits. 1. Connection with nature. Daily routine. If it does not have even 5 minutes of connecting with nature in some way, it's not going to keep you in a great state of mind. Then third, your work. What work are you here to do? If you're married or you're in a relationship, alone time with your life partner or your lover, whichever one. Time for friends and family, people, colleagues, right? So spiritual practices also can come in self-care. Time with family, time with friends. You need to give percentages. How much of that do you need to do on a daily basis? And if not, then we can really remove a whole block and give more time to other things. So create this routine based on what you're doing in your life right now. Are you married or are you single? Do you live away from your family? Maybe then that much family time is not important. Maybe you can just do video calls. So create this framework of your daily routine based on giving thought to these parameters, right? Now, let's see what an ideal daily routine looks like in my life. Waking up at least an hour before everybody in my house is up. So that means I'm the first one to rise. And by rise, I mean open the doors, open the windows, smell some fresh air, look at the river because thankfully I have the beautiful Gangaji in front of my house. So look at the river, look at the mountains. If you have plants, look at your plants, look at the sun. Please look at these blessings that you have around you, your room, your bed, anything. So then after I connect with nature, even for a few minutes, I immediately step into gratitude. Gratitude for who I am right now, what I have right now, anything, at least 4 to 5 things that I can say thank you to the universe for. Then I start with a little herbal tea, if needed, some water, warm water, normal water based on the season. And then I step onto either a yoga mat or I move my body in some way. Either I dance or I go for a walk or do whatever you wish. But move your body. My favorite is doing Surya Namaskars. I love it. And stretches, deep stretches, yogic asanas. So I give at least an hour to myself for doing that. It's in a deep way that I connect with my whole being. Then I meditate, I do my mantra jap, and I do my prayer of love. After I've done all this, I go and shower, I have my meal, and then I'm ready to hang out with either my partner if he's there, my children if they're there, or I get straight to work. This part of my day is relatively flexible. I set a few hours aside for work, whether it's going to the center, whether it's shooting for YouTube, whether it's conducting classes. I've dedicated 4 to 5 hours of day for intense, committed work. Apart from that, I don't take any commitments. I don't make any commitments because I like to experience spontaneity, freedom. I try to work only from Monday to Friday so that I have the weekend to give to my partner. So even if you are not connecting on a daily basis with your partner, you can connect over the weekend. Of course, even if we're in two different cities or we're in the same city, we make it a point that we at least say I love you to each other. We video call. Connection is a must with your children, with your spouse, with your loved ones, brothers, mothers, everyone, because it keeps your mood great. Now, on the weekend, we can plan our daily routine in a different way. Some parts of your daily routine are to be continued 7 days a week. For example, my meditation, my mantra jap, they are not to be missed even for a day because they keep me sane. But I skip on taking a shower on a Sunday. I'll take a shower towards the end of the day because I'm going to do a deep house cleaning. I'm going to go look at different parts of my house. So Sundays are for caring of the self, which means beauty rituals, caring for spaces that we've built, caring for these little kids that we have, to maybe giving them a deep bath ritual. So Sundays can be self-care, recreational, connecting with nature, going for a trip in the mountains. But understand that major framework of when you're eating, when you're sleeping, when you're waking up, how you're sleeping, the sadhana before going to bed, all this is a fixed. When these are fixed, everything else can keep changing, chaos can come, and you'll be able to manage it, which is what will be needed in the long term. What looks like success, grand success. You see successful people, right? Supremely successful in the world. They all have micro level discipline. Discipline in small, small acts and discipline over a sustained period of time. Those who have lacked that discipline will really, you'll be able to see it that they have not been able to accomplish much. So don't look at discipline, order, and timelines and schedules as something that is going to bind you, but see it as something that will help you live your life in a greater way.